Matthew 13, the parable of the sower, is a fundamental understanding of how the Lord has operated in reaching the people that were lost, which was all of us. I say this because I have a lot of young men and young women that will come up to me and the other ministers I work with when we're outreaching on the streets and preaching, and they have questions with different parts of Jesus' teachings and parables they couldn't understand. And just to explain it in 13, it goes over this a lot in Matthew 13, but Isaiah, the prophet most quoted by Jesus, spoke of the parables in Isaiah 6:9. The Lord said to Isaiah, "Go tell these people, keep on hearing, but do not understand. Keep on seeing, but do not perceive." Isaiah 6:10 says, "Make their hearts, the heart of these people, dull, and their ears heavy, and blind their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and can understand with their hearts and turn and be healed." You then have the fulfillment of the Lord speaking to Isaiah, when the Lord was asking, "Who can I send and who will go?" And Isaiah says, "Here I am, send me." Then these words follow in Isaiah 6. Now in Matthew 13, Jesus is then teaching the parable of the sower, right? The sower goes out, starts to spread seed, right? And there's different conditions of a man's heart when the seed falls. Now the word parable, right, meant Parra Ballo, right, in the Greek, which is to cast aside, which is the same thing as handing out the seed. And this is what Jesus is continually doing, is he's passing on these stories and these teachings, and it's something that you can't understand unless you go to him humbly, unless you remove your pride, you remove your arrogance, and step before the Lord and ask of him humbly. As you see in the teaching of Matthew 13, Jesus says to him who has, more will be given, and to him who has not, even that what he has will be taken away. Right? So the one who comes to Jesus, those apostles and those disciples have received Jesus Christ as Lord by faith. Right? They could go to him and they could ask him, "Can you explain this to us?" They were not trying to be prideful themselves. If you look at these crowds that were coming to Jesus, where he was resisting them and he was not explaining it to them, number one, these crowds didn't come back to him to ask. Right? Number two, they were asking for him to prove himself. They wanted to see miracles and signs and wonders. So if you are seeking the Lord and you're not understanding these parables, humble yourself. I had to do the exact same thing. I was a prideful young man. I was a prideful individual. I had made a lot of mistakes, but I thought highly of myself that I could just pick up the Bible, pick up the teachings, and understand. I couldn't. Go before the Lord. Ask of him humbly. Clean your heart. Have good intentions before you come to him. Ask of him and he'll start to show you and teach you. It's extremely important these last days. Like I said, the number of young people that are coming up to us as we're ministering on the streets, knowing that there's some signs of the times happening, that the time is close for Jesus' return, is remarkable. Be humble.